people, if you want to go on vacation for a week and you don't have anyone to ship your product, that's not going to go too well. You need to be able to ship within days. Back when I was younger, you could ship something, you order something online and you'd get it weeks later, and that was fine. Now everyone expects to get something within a couple of days. So, and you need to have the know-how to put all the pieces together, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So, go ahead to the next one. So the pieces that you need for e-commerce: you need a website, you need a shopping cart, which may or may not be the same thing as your website. You need some way of doing payment processing, and you need a way of shipping. So go ahead. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the website. Before you even start to sell online, you need an online presence. Some people are only on Facebook or Instagram, which is fine, but you really should have a website, because that will have contact information, it'll have information about your product. You control everything that's on your website, unlike Facebook or Instagram, where they kind of control the content. First step, obviously, register your domain name. When you're doing that, also grab similar names. When we first got started, I registered the purplepaintedlady.com. I wish I had registered purplepaintedlady.com without the. I didn't do that. And what happens is, if your website gets popular, people will grab the name variations and then try to sell them to you. So, I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars to get purplepaintedlady.com at this point, but I should have grabbed it at the start.
Yeah, I can just to second that. Like I can say with ours, the Humble Gents. There's the Humble Gents. There's Humble Gents. There's Humble_Gents. There's a lot of people that came in afterward that started taking that same similar name. So that's a good point. I didn't think of.
There's lots of ways to register a domain name, and again, this is just kind of reserving, and you do it for a certain amount of time. It could be like $15 a year usually, and there's lots of ways to do that, but the best way is through your hosting company. So number two, a hosting company. First of all, do you guys have a website? You have a website?
I used to on the other business.
What's that?
I used to on the other business,
Okay.
but not this one.
So I'll go through this kind of fast, because you guys probably know this stuff. The hosting company provides the computer where your website resides. Prices can be as cheap as $10 a month, but usually increase based on how much disk space and or bandwidth you use. Most cheap hosting companies provide shared web hosting, which means your website shares space with other websites, and that's what we do right now. This is slower but much cheaper. If you decide you need a faster website, you can pay more and upgrade to a virtual private server and then a dedicated server, where you could be spending $200 a month or so. We use a company called Exact Hosting, but there are thousands of more out there, like GoDaddy, Wix, and HostGator. Again, there's lots and lots of hosting companies. The more you pay, the faster it'll be, obviously. We're fine on kind of the lower level, although because of our bandwidth and the number of people, disk space that we use, we have to pay more now. But our website is not as fast as I would like it to be, and that's, I'd have to pay more if I want it to be faster, and that's why. Once you have your website and your hosting, you need to provide the software to run it. Some hosting companies like Wix will do it for you. They have these templates you fill out and create the website. A lot of people use WordPress, and you need a little bit of technical knowledge to install something like WordPress. I recommend WordPress because we use it. I know there's other solutions out there as well. You have to install it, and then you configure it after that point. WordPress is great because a lot of people use it. There's a lot of people online that use WordPress, so there's a lot of people that can help you if you need help. It's totally free. A lot of people write software and programs that will run with WordPress. What do you guys use on your websites?
I use WordPress, and my theme is Nimba.
Yeah.
Do you use a theme?
We have a theme. I can't remember what it is. We need a new theme. What do you guys use?
I've had a couple different people make websites for me.
Yeah.
I don't even know the last one.
Yeah. So we're at the point now where we want our website to be prettier. I've kind of done as much as I can do with my limited, web programming knowledge. We're probably going to hire someone, and they won't create. What they would do is they would create probably a custom theme for us. Like you have a theme that you found. We could probably.
You can also create a child theme from the existing theme.
Yeah,
if you want different color scheme, for example, that's not available in that theme, you can create a child. It does require a little bit more technical knowledge because you have to go on the server and change like the PHP files. But
we have Yeah, we're at the point where we could spend a lot of time looking for custom, themes, or you can buy themes. There's a lot of free themes, but we're at a point where we probably want to hire someone, tell them exactly what we want, and have them design a theme for us. And again, there's many companies and website developers will design an interface for you for a price. They could design a WordPress theme or create a whole custom software package for you. Okay, so the shopping cart. This is where you're selling from. The cheapest solution is to host it right on your website, which is something like a WordPress plugin. It might cost $100 or so, and it's a one-time fee. When we first started, we had a WordPress plugin called Shop, SHOPP, and I think it was $50 or $100 to purchase it, and then it's yours. You don't pay anything else after that point, and it sits on your website.
E-commerce is free.
What's that?
E-commerce is free.
Okay, yeah.
And then you use plugins for credit card
Yep.
processing because that's different. Yeah.
So the great thing about WordPress plugins is again, it's very cheap. They're free or very cheap. The disadvantages of hosting your own shopping cart are that if you screw something up or your website crashes, it's up to you to fix it. And this happened to us several times. Something would break, and the people who made the plugin, they'll help you a little bit, but they sold it to you once. You're not paying them money for support. They're not really going to spend a lot of time helping you. Also, you might need to know a little bit about programming, or at least WordPress programming, to get it to work exactly the way you want to, as you probably know. And you're responsible for keeping the software up to date and working. As you get bigger and need something more robust, you can move to a hosted shopping cart. And this is what we have now. Hosted means that another company takes care of running it, and while you configure it to work in many different ways, at the end of the day, the other company is responsible for keeping it running and updating the software and taking care of security. You don't need to worry about downtime or getting hacked, although the company we use has gone down at various points, but again, when it crashes, they have to fix it. It's not something that you have to do.
Do you use Shopify?
No, we use 3D Cart.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I'll talk about that a little bit here. The hosting shopping cart companies will also offer support. So if you have questions like, I can't get my interface to PayPal working, they'll be glad to help. They should, since you're paying them. Hosting shopping carts are also easy to use. There'll be many themes you can choose from, so you can change the look and feel of your shopping cart. Just like on WordPress, it has different themes. A shopping cart will have different themes. So, it'll work a certain way you want it to. They'll have hundreds of themes. Some will be free, some you have to pay for, but you can make it look different based on that. Your hosted shopping cart will have an address like shop.thepropanelady.com, so it appears to be part of the same website. So the Propane Lady is our own website. It's hosted by one company. Our shop.thepropanelady.com is hosted by 3D Cart. They're totally separate websites, but they kind of look like they're all combined. From our website, you can link to the shopping cart. From the shopping cart, you can link to the website. Popular shopping carts include Shopify, which is probably the biggest one, BigCommerce, and 3D Cart. There's hundreds of others. You can expect to pay a monthly fee, which is based on your bandwidth. Monthly visitors start about $50 a month to hundreds of dollars a month. And remember, you can start small and only add more when you build up to it. So again, you're paying a monthly fee because they're hosting it on their site, they're taking care of it, they're providing support. You have to pay for that every month. So this is something you're not going to want to do unless you start shipping a lot. And you grow as you go. So if you're not going to be charged hundreds of dollars a month unless you're selling thousands of dollars a month. Shopify is probably the most popular shopping cart, but it is a lot more expensive than some of the other ones. And the way they work is that they charge you a base rate, which gives you plain vanilla shopping cart, and then you need to purchase apps with monthly fees to do anything substantial. Also, they force you to use their payment processing system, which is a lot more expensive. So the important thing about any shopping cart is you want to examine the pricing and the features of different systems. They'll all have lots of great templates for the look and feel, so don't base your decision primarily based because you see someone else's shopping cart that looks great. So if you see another shopping cart and it uses Shopify and you're like, wow, I want that. I want that look. I need Shopify. Not necessarily. You can probably get other shopping carts that look like that. The most important thing is the price and kind of how things work is important, but you would just have to look at a lot of other shopping carts out there and see if you find one that seems to work really well or it's intuitive. That's what you'd want to do. So none of you guys have a hosted shopping cart like that at this point?
I used to on the last one.
Do you know what it was?
It was through a buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy was hosting and all that.
Yeah. So he was like hosting it on his own computer? Okay. So yeah, and there's a lot of homegrown solutions that people will create like that. But unfortunately, you need a lot of technical know-how to just set something like that up. Okay, go ahead. Okay, once you have, whether you have a shopping cart or a WordPress plugin, you need payment processing. So a way for customers to pay you. Payment processing system is something you will configure on your shopping cart to accept payments from customers. We use PayPal because it's nice to give users the option of using a credit card or actual PayPal. Others include Stripe, Authorize.net, and Square. So again, there's lots of companies out there that'll act as the interface between payments. And again, PayPal is nice because when they go to check out on our website, they can either check out with a credit card or with PayPal. And it's actually the same thing. PayPal is taking care of both of those, but we give them the option. If you're using Stripe or Authorize or Square, you only have the option of credit card. PayPal is probably a little more expensive than some of the other ones, but it's nice to have that option. So we have separate payment processing for our brick and mortar stores, which is Heartland, which is what we use here. Online we use PayPal, and when we do shows, we have a mobile Intuit Go payment device. Is that good or bad? You know, maybe you want to separate them so you have separate payments for your stores versus your online versus your shows, or maybe you want them all in the same place, and that's really up to you to decide.
So why'd you do the Intuit?
You use Intuit?
No, we use Square.
Oh, Square. Yeah.
Why are you choosing Intuit over Square?
Primarily because when we first needed to do that 10 years ago, that's just the one I found somewhere. I know Square is very popular, and actually,
What's the fee for Intuit, like per transaction?
I think it's $30 a month. Well, I have the processing for PayPal, it's $30 a month plus 50 cents for each transaction plus 2.9% of the total sale, which is a little on the expensive side. And there's other ones that are as low as 2.2%. So because these formulas are somewhat complicated, you really have to figure out, like, take a typical.
Around 3. Well, it's around 3. I mean, it depends on, but it's 3+% for PayPal.
Yeah.
For that right there.
Do you know what Square is?
Square is
Right around
2.7 for the wireless chip reader. It's 3.5 if you're using swipe or manual.
And,
so it's 3.5 for the website too, because it's the equivalent of a manual typing it in.
Yeah. So again, when you're looking at different payment processing, you have to look at their formulas and figure out which would be cheaper. And sometimes a certain company will be cheaper if you do it over a certain volume, and they have different rates for lower volume. So again, that's something you're gonna have to figure out. This is something that we really want for our business, that we really want to explore, because I think we could save a lot of money by getting something with a cheaper rate. Even if I like PayPal on the site, I could use one of these other ones just for the credit card and still have PayPal and get a lower rate on the credit card. So I need to figure out all these formulas and figure out what's going to be best for us, and same with you guys.
I think you can, so on my site I have Square right now, and I haven't set up PayPal yet, but there is a way to basically set up, I think, the credit card to do Heartland or Square or whatever. And then PayPal is if they want to just like go to PayPal to type in all their.
Well, there's a couple different things on PayPal. You can actually do it right there on your site, or have a link to go off your site to PayPal and do it there.
But it's not. It's very streamlined. At least the ones that I've used, right? It's like, oh, I want to use PayPal, so I click PayPal. A window comes up. You're like, is this your username? If you're already logged in, so yep. I click the card that I want to use, and it's done. I don't have to. The convenient thing there is that I don't have to type anything in.
Yeah.
Now, depending on your average transaction, right? The difference between like 0.7%. Well, that actually would be the same for me, 3.5%. it would be like, I don't really care, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're talking, even if it's $100,
Yeah.
right, transaction, you're talking $1 difference.
Yeah.
At most. So I'd rather take the $100 transaction than not pay the $1.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and again, everyone's situation is going to be different, and for us, we actually we're starting to do a lot of volume. So if I could save 0.1% somewhere over the volume that we do, it would probably save us a lot of money. So again, these are decisions that we have to make. We have to. I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to figure out the best solution. I haven't spent much time on this yet, but once once you have a payment system, and you can switch later, you can even have multiple ones. The shopping cart will make it really easy to hook up to the payment processing plan of your choice. You'll need to create an account with PayPal or Stripe or whoever you choose, but then they or your shopping cart should be able to tell you how to easily hook up the two systems. And I can't remember the details, but I remember it was really easy. Like of course you need the account with PayPal and you need the shopping cart, and you hook up the two in this configuration, and it's probably the same in your shopping cart.
You set it up on your website, like this is my account, this is where it's going,
Yeah.
so your website needs to know that. And I think there's some kind of a authorization that has to happen within PayPal that says, yep, it's okay for my website to be pinging you for, some kind of a communication link between the two.
I was reading a lot about people who were playing with the whole payment processing, and you can see big differences just putting things in a different order. Like the fact that you don't have to, like on PayPal, you don't have to type in all your information is a big deal, especially when you're selling on mobile devices. And this one guy he charted all his conversions and how many people were buying, and then he had this form on his site where he had to do the credit card, and then down lower he had the PayPal, which was a lot simpler. And when he moved the PayPal one up to the top, so that was the one that they saw first, his conversion rate went up like 30% or something. And I know there's a lot of opportunity to play around and get it exactly the right way, because people really, you think it's a simple thing, but if people can avoid not typing in all their information, they're much more likely to buy from you, and it really does work.
I mean, think of it yourself, like I buy a lot of stuff online. So when I have the PayPal, like, I don't have to get up to get my wallet, take out my credit card, type it all in. I can just click, and it's easier. So the better you can make the shopping process efficient. So what does that mean? The least amount of screen, the least amount of clicks, the least amount of options. I know that's hard because a lot of times I have to give them an option. What size do they want?
Yeah.
Right? For example, for paint, I'm assuming you'd have different sizes. But you want to remove that. Like once they've hit, like you want to remove as many steps as you can. You don't want them to have to click 10 times to
Our
get
shopping cart had an option for the checkout page. It was multiple pages, or you can make it all into one page. And originally we had multiple pages, like you enter your information, and then you pick your shipping, and then you pick your credit card. And when you put it all in one page, it did it. People bought more because it was simpler. And you think it's a minor thing, but the faster you can get people to click and purchase and not type stuff in.
And think of, a simple explanation to that could be it was loading too long.
Yeah.
And for me, like 4 seconds, I'm like, dude, come on now.
Yeah.
Right? 7 seconds, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
7 seconds.
Which is why when I was talking about the websites earlier, the fact that our website loads a little bit slow. Now she does have a lot of photos and stuff, which is probably the cause of that, but should I spend extra money to get a faster website hosting? It might make a difference because people, and actually I was doing a lot of studying on Google Analytics, which is an amazing software. You can study everything about your website, who's on your website, how long do they stay, and we get a lot of people who stay on our website less than 5 seconds and then leave. Is that because they clicked to realize they weren't interested and left, or is it because it was loading slow and they gave up and left? So all these kind of things, and maybe if I went to a faster website, maybe people would stay longer. So
I wonder if you could do dedicated hosting for like 2 months and see, right? And then switch back to shared if you haven't seen. Because that would give you a reference. Like right now you have the numbers that you have, but you don't know if your conversion rate or if your close rate would go up significantly to outweigh the cost of the website. Now, I think it's worth the test, even annually. I don't think it's more than $400.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say more for dedicated versus shared.
Yeah.
It's probably less for some. I use DreamHost, but I don't know. I don't think it's significantly like.
Yeah.
I don't think it's thousands versus 200. Like I pay 200 for example for hosting.
I'm trying to think of the recent numbers what we're paying for our web hosting, not the shopping cart, just our web hosting. I think we're already paying probably over 100 a month right now, just because of our volume. So I don't know at our volume what the dedicated server would
Right,
cost.
but if it's 500, well,
Yeah.
if it's mine are usually annual because I don't have the,
Yeah.
the traffic that you guys do. So I pay, but yeah, like if it's say it's $50 more, you're like hell yeah, I'll try it,
Yeah.
right? If it's $1,000 more, then you're like, well, I need to
Yeah.
figure out, right? So somewhere in between would be the breaking point. We're like, okay, 500 on top of what we're already paying. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I don't think it would be 1,000. I don't think it would be 1,100 versus 100.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something I want to try. I've been thinking about it for a while, and there's other things like I was talking about paying a developer to really make our site look nice, and maybe we'll do both of those things. But there's a lot of decisions.
What I would do is call up the hosting company and say, I'm thinking about converting to a dedicated server. Can you tell me a little bit about prices and
Yeah.
try to basically negotiate,
Yeah.
ask for
Yeah.
what you're looking for, and then at some point, if they want to sell you,
Yeah.
they're gonna say, well, how about you try it for 3 months? You're
Yeah.
like, yes, that's what I really wanted.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about the hassle of moving to another hosting company, but my current hosting company probably already does dedicated hosting. So I would stay with them and just upgrade. So.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, I'd like to switch, but I don't know how much faster it's gonna
Yeah.
be. I'd like to see before
Yeah.
I commit to something, can I do 1 month or 2 months at some kind of a discounted rate, and if it's working for me,
Yeah.
right?
And that's a great point, is that you can always negotiate things. We're going to talk a little bit about shipping, and Trish, we use UPS, and Trish sits down with them every year and renegotiates because she's got a lot of volume, and so she can get better rates. And so, don't ever just, when someone gives you a price and say, oh, well, that's it, you can probably call and negotiate something better. Okay, go ahead to the next one. All right, now we're going to talk about shipping. So now that you sold something, you need to get it to the customer. You need to do this fairly quickly. People aren't willing to wait weeks anymore for something they bought online. I remember when I was a kid, you'd order something out of a catalog and they'd say expect 6 weeks for shipping. Well, people aren't going to put up with that nowadays. I know you do clothes. What do you guys?
Barware items, only small products.
Okay, so something that can be shipped. And clothing is probably a lot easier than paint.
I was using, I've been using USPS,
Yeah.
right? Because they're cheapest of them three.
Yeah.
But I do want to learn about negotiating.
Yeah, and you probably just put it in a box with no.
Well, I'll go and I'll estimate certain things,
Yeah.
and some things, if I can fold a t-shirt, a thin
Yeah.
t-shirt, and to be a flat, it's under a flat, which is half the price.
Yeah.
And I'm more likely to buy something if shipping is $5
Yeah.
versus 15.
We have to do quite a bit of packaging, to do a can of paint. We have, if there's multiple cans, we have to put cardboard in between them. There's packaging peanuts, and so we really have, and then we have these little clips on the paint, so the lids won't come off during shipping, and we have to do a lot more than most people do, and it still works for us. So I'm sure a lot of people are a lot simpler. And then sometimes, recently, we've been going to multiple sources. So UPS is cheaper for some things, but if she's just selling a paintbrush, she can stick it in an envelope and take it to the post office, and it'll be cheaper. So
Yeah, flats on over there, first class, they're usually cheaper.
Yeah.
Even for Europe, I had a quote the other day for Europe, $7. I'll take it for a flat.
you ship to Europe?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I'm from Bosnia, so I had people.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, why is it telling me $15? It seems like an excessive
Yeah.
amount for just a T-shirt. But I found an envelope where I could put it in flat. So, and they have this little thing, and I think it's an inch
Yeah.
wide. So, a brush, if it's not thicker than an inch,
Yeah.
then it will fit into the flat. And flats are usually half the price of what
Yeah.
priority would be.
So you ship to Europe for your business, or was it just a personal thing?
Oh, it was for my business, yeah.
Okay. Huh.
But it was the first one, and I was like, I just went to USPS. I was like, okay, how do I how do I package this? I go there and I
Yeah.
ask them.
Yeah.
It's just my closest USPS, and they know me.
Yeah.
So I go in and they know, like, okay, let's see if we could find, you know, but yeah, if
Yeah.
like sometimes the envelope may be more expensive, but I already had shipping by dollar
Yeah.
to just pay for the envelope, right? So they're paying for the envelope. And usually they're not more, like $1 is if I'm getting it at the post office anyway, so you can get it
Yeah.
cheaper if you have the volume.
So when you're first starting out, you might just package it up and carry it to the post office or to UPS. When you start shipping more, you might get something like, we use something called UPS World Ship application on your PC, and you print your own shipping labels. The more you ship, the better rate that you can negotiate with UPS or FedEx. And if you get really big, they will come to you and pick up your packages, which is what we do now at our store in Macedon. UPS comes once or sometimes even twice a day to pick up packages. From your shopping cart, you need to specify how much the customer will pay. You can have flat rate shipping, which is based on price or quantity, and that's what we do. And so what we have a scale. So like if you spend up to $40, it's $8 shipping. If you spend up to $100, it's X amount of shipping, and we just have a flat rate scale.
Do you have the economics of that? Like the numbers?
I've tried to figure that out. So sometimes we make money on shipping, sometimes we lose money on shipping. I think overall we kind of break even. I've tried to get analytics from her on that, and that's something that we also need to do. Like I would like to know, are we making money? Are we losing? You know, because if we're losing money on shipping, I'd want to raise the rates a little bit. The other thing that a lot of people do is they connect their UPS or FedEx account directly in their shopping cart and get the exact actual rate that you'll be charged. Again, the shopping cart makes that easy to hook up. So what that would do is if someone picks something and they live in California and they're getting 5 pounds of paint, it will actually contact UPS, get the exact rate that they're going to charge you, and then charge the customer that. So that way you're always breaking even on shipping, and the customer gets a good rate because you have a good rate with UPS. I don't know which one is better because, so if people say, oh, there's $4.36 shipping being added to your order, what are they going to think about that versus just like $5 or something? Like I really don't know. We've never tried it the other way.
Well, I think the upside that's hard to calculate with flat rate shipping is some people, once they spent $80 in a shopping cart, they're like, well, if even if you give them like free shipping on $100, right? They'll want to spend the $100 to get the free shipping, otherwise they'll have to pay $8.
Yeah.
So depending on how it's structured, you can actually get an upsell to the.
We kind of got burned once because we had our rates going up to $1,000, and we never thought anyone would spend more than $1,000 on an order. And then one day someone ordered $3,000 worth of paint. So basically they had already maxed out our scale, so we were kind of shipping them $2,000 worth of paint for free, and so we had to kind of adjust our scales after that. So that's something you need to think about. I've often wondered whether flat rate is the best, and I've often wondered whether are we making money or losing money on. We don't really want to make money. We just want to kind of average out. But I don't even know those numbers what we're doing. So.
Well, wouldn't that be easy? The way to do that is to run your transactions and do the breaks.
I've done that on a monthly basis. Like I know what our bill is from UPS, and I know how much we're charging for shipping in our shopping cart, and it's usually about the same. But it always makes out. So like if we're shipping to someone in California, we're probably losing money. If we're shipping to someone in Pennsylvania, we're probably making money, and it averages out. But yeah, I would. That's an opportunity that I would like to figure out more. What exactly are we doing in shipping?
I think if you call up UPS, should they be able to tell you what the price of each package was, and then based on the amount in that package?
We definitely can get that information, but just compiling all that information, looking through reports, I just haven't had time to do that. But again, just like the payment method, the shopping cart will make it very easy to hook up to your whichever method that you want to use.
By the way, did you start out using UPS like in the beginning?
Yeah, and actually at first she would box them up, and I would actually just carry them to the UPS store and set them on the counter, and they would bring them up and ship them that way.
And did you price checked like FedEx, say UPS and USPS, and UPS was the cheapest?
Yeah, we almost switched to FedEx a couple years ago, and I think one of the things that she liked was that they had Saturday pickup, because we ship a lot over the weekend, and so with UPS it was like they had to wait till Monday and then they'd get a huge pickup on Monday, and she liked the Saturday pickup. But I think UPS is starting to do that too, so that doesn't matter. She was very aggressive in negotiating with both FedEx and UPS, and UPS beat the price of FedEx, but you know, it could be different for different people.
I was gonna go for the small white items, this paint's not white.
No, it's not. Like I said, you would have to figure out. It'd be different for everyone. Like if you have, you know, clothes or whatever you're selling, it would probably be different than paint. You'd have to talk to both of them. But I mean, those are the three big ones: the U.S. Postal Service, UPS, and FedEx. Obviously, Postal Service might be cheaper on some things, but you can't track packages as easily or if at all.
You can track
Oh, you can
Yeah.
with Post Office, huh?
They have
Oh,
track.
they give you a number, but.
Yes. You know,
There is
What the hell
a
is
thing
this?
called stamps.com, which gives you like commercial pricing for USPS,
Yeah.
so it's cheaper, and they'll do the tracking right then and
Yeah.
there, and there's a way to send an email to the customer right away, like as soon as you create the label, right, it goes to the customer, so you don't have to like type up, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
that's labor intensive.
we also use stamps.com because we found, like I said, the brushes, we ship them in these envelopes and it's cheaper than UPS. And I don't know all the details. Diane over there could probably tell you about stamps.com, but we do have an account with that. The tracking is actually very important because we've had a couple times where people have placed a large order with us and then they call, like it'll be stolen off their porch, or they say it was stolen off their porch, and they expect us to pay them back for it, and then we, you know, and then we'll pull up the tracking information. FedEx or UPS has it tracked, and it was sitting on your porch. You know, we got it to your porch. If someone stole it off your porch, we're not responsible for that. And it's
How did you deal with that? I mean, that's basically what you told them.
yeah. I'm trying to remember the details.
'Cause that's a sticky situation.
Yeah, this woman, and she went on our list of someone to never sell to again because she was really aggressive and wanted us to refund. It was like $1,000, and she wanted us to refund her. And we're like, if it was really stolen off her porch, I feel bad for her, but you should file a report with the police at this point. And Trish told her, she's like, if someone stole $1,000 of something off your porch, why aren't you filing a report with the police? And then she was kind of pushing back. Well, you guess. I ordered it and it didn't get here and you should refund me. And Trish was like, no, UPS has tracking information. It was on your porch. You know, and you didn't do a police
I mean,
report.
the idea is if you had $1,000 worth of merchandise coming to your house,
Yeah.
wouldn't you have made provisions to make sure
Yeah.
that it's not stolen? So have it delivered to the UPS store and you
Yeah.
go and pick it up.
I can't remember the details of how that shook out at the end, but I remember it was a big deal. Yeah, unfortunately sometimes.
I'm wondering if somebody's ordering $1,000 and you have or some number that's high, you suggest to the customer somewhere saying, hey,
Yeah.
make sure that you make provisions to not.
Well, I think
like
what
to
we do now
avoid,
also is
basically,
when the orders are over a certain amount, we buy insurance for the shipment, which is a little bit, but they, you know, and a lot of times UPS will deal with it. Like if there's an issue like that, we'll tell them, not like we won't talk to them, but we're like, listen, this is between you and UPS at this point. UPS had our package. They say it was on your porch. You say it's not there. This is kind of between you and UPS at this point. So, if you're using something like that, are you guys familiar with UPS World Ship at all? So it's a program, and you enter in all your information, and then you print the labels right at your store, and this is something that you would use if you want to put the labels on at your store and either take it to the store or else have UPS pick it up. So if you're using something like that and you ship more than 10 orders a day, you should get some integration software like ShipWorks or ShipStation so that you can import all your sales and customers information from your shopping cart and all your shipping rates and information from UPS and ship in one place. So we spent a lot of years copying and pasting. So our shopping cart has all this information. I'm selling it to Joe Smith on 123 Main Street. and UPS World Ship. So we had to copy information from here to UPS, and it was a real pain. Like I said, we spent a lot of time doing that. So the shipping integration software, which again we use ShipWorks, but there's other ones out there as well. You use that software, and so that software hooks up to your shopping cart, pulls in all the orders, hooks up to UPS, pulls in all your shipping rates, and you do everything from there, and it's made life a lot easier. So if you're doing more than 10 orders a day, I highly recommend something like that. PayPal also offers integrated shipping, which we don't use, but it's an option. So if you're using PayPal, there's ways to do shipping labels and ship rate from PayPal. And so if you're using them for your payment processing, you might save a little bit of money.
What do you use for your labels?
We use UPS, and we have a little zebra printer right at our store. And then so we're using ShipWorks, and from ShipWorks we queue up all the orders and just hit a button, and then all the shipping labels print out. So, I want to go to the next slide. Okay, so we talked about all the pieces for shipping online. I just want to talk really quickly about how customers will find you. And I didn't want to do too much on this because I could spend hours on this, but go ahead to the next one. So organic traffic on your website is obviously what you want. A good way to get people to find you is to post something interesting. If you use WordPress, you can start a blog about a topic related to your business. Trish has a blog about painting furniture, which is very popular and brings people to our site. Just make sure that when people are reading your blog, they can easily find a link to your shopping cart. So on every page, if they're reading your blog about whatever, they should be able to easily find a way to go to your shopping cart. You want to be seen as the expert in your field. If you sell clothes, volunteer to judge a fashion show and then blog about it. If you sell widgets, find the online communities where people talk about widgets and then immerse yourself in it. However, you need to be seen as truly helpful. If you are seen as someone who just gets involved in order to drop links to your website, it won't come off well. So there's a lot of forums out there where people paint furniture, and we really don't do this much. She does a little bit, but like if she was always on there, talking, oh, I like your painted dresser. By the way, go to the Purple Paint Lady and buy paint. It's, that probably wouldn't look too good, but you want to have an online presence and kind of be the expert in your field, and people will think of you as the expert and they'll want to buy from you. There's other companies that will try to sell you a package to help your SEO, which is search engine optimization. Google's search algorithm is proprietary, but basically they want to show people results that interest them. So if your site is popular and a lot of people link to it, it will rank higher. There's some tricks to gain a little bit of higher ranking, but it basically boils down to popularity. Okay. Social media. Obviously, a lot of people use this. It's a big way of promoting your business. You should have a business Facebook page where you can post articles and do product announcements. Facebook Live is heavily promoted by Facebook and is a good way to build interest. We have a weekly Facebook Live where she has some of her employees paint furniture and talk about it, and it's become really popular. As a business, Facebook will try to get you to boost your ad by paying them. So, I think they'll only show your post to so many people, and you have to pay to boost the ad to more people. One way that we get around that is by offering a giveaway or some promotion that people share your post, and that's a way that Trish, she'll say, if everyone who shares this post, will go into the drawing and get some free something or other, and it actually kind of works. Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter are other social media platforms that you can advertise in. Again, I didn't want to get deep into this because it's been hours on it. I just wanted to mention it real quick.
Can I ask a
Yep.
question? I started doing giveaways for Facebook, but it's hard to, you can't actually see everybody who shares your post, and here's why. If you're not friends with this person,
Yeah.
and they don't have the privacy settings, like nobody who's a friend can see my post, you
Yeah.
can't actually see their post. What I ask them to do is comment and share, right?
Yep.
And commenting is easy because I see the comments.
Yeah.
They're in the list, and there's websites who will randomly pick somebody. You can just eyeball it and pick somebody, right?
Yeah.
So how do you get around that? Do you know?
I'd have to ask Trish. She's the one that does all that. But I think I have seen her do that, comment and share, because then she can see who's
That's what I do. I do the like, comment, and share.
That's what I do.
So
That's
you
what
have
I mean.
three
It's a lot. Some people were like, "Wait, what do you need me to do?" but there's a way to check if somebody liked your page, but sharing is,
Yeah.
depending on their privacy, and obviously, you're not gonna be friends with everybody who's on
Yeah.
your page, so.
I rig it a little times, most times I say random winner, but actually choose a specific person that would benefit the business more than just a random
Yeah.
Well,
winner.
that's your prerogative, as long as you're giving it away, like, I
Yeah.
wanna get new people,
Yeah.
right? So if I have 6 friends and one person that I don't know, I'm like, let me get that person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because my friends are already,
Somebody who has a bigger presence than most people.
You know what's
Most
interesting
times.
is I can see on Google Analytics how many people come to our site or even our shopping cart through Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest. We get a lot of visitors to our site from Pinterest, and I don't really know how to capitalize on that. I think Shopify has a feature where you can sell things right on Pinterest, which I don't really know all the details on, but and I was telling Trish, because we don't really do much on Pinterest. She has some photos out there of painted furniture stuff, but we're getting a lot of traffic from Pinterest, and this is something I
can
need
you
to figure
get
out.
some information from Pinterest, like what they're clicking on? If you own the picture, I'm wondering if you can
Yeah,
get,
again,
because the question is, are they coming from the pictures that you posted or somebody else
yeah,
posted?
I don't know. I don't know all those details, and I don't know much about Pinterest to begin with. All I'm looking at is, I'm looking at the analytics of our site and seeing that we're getting a lot of traffic from Pinterest, and I need to explore that and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, certainly.
What's that?
It's definitely one, the weirdest ones out there.
Yeah,
Because people can repost things without you ever knowing where
Yeah.
the original
Which is
came
good.
from.
Which is good, right?
Unless you want the original, and then you can never find it.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong. That's growth. That's organic growth. Like if somebody's sharing your stuff, like you're not gonna say stop sharing
Great,
your
but
my
if you
stuff.
can't find the link to go buy the thing, it's not doing a whole lot.
Well, then the opportunity is
Yeah.
for you to figure out where they're landing on your. That's another way to figure
Yeah.
out like what are they clicking on and which page are they landing
Yeah.
on? Is it a blog
So,
post or a picture?
in Google Analytics, I mean, you can figure out, like, I can see, you know, we have 100,000 people on our website, and 50,000 were coming from organic search, and 20,000 were coming from Facebook, and 30,000 were coming from Pinterest. And then of those people on our website, this smaller group actually went to your shopping cart, and out of that smaller group, these ones actually purchased something. Like, you can figure all that out, and then you can figure out this, you know, maybe we only got this many from Pinterest, but all of them, half of them bought something, or maybe I got all these people from Facebook, but they're not buying anything. Like, there's tons of data out there, and it gets overwhelming at times when you look at all the data. But it's something that I need to
That's
work on more.
another question that I had. Are most people coming to your website to read the blog and then it's an upsell to actually sell them, or are they coming to actually purchase something?
Most.
Are they landing on a product page?
Yeah, most come to read the posts about paint, and
So that's a blog post.
yeah, it's a blog post. I mean, a certain percentage do go on to buy, and I think that's, actually go to the next page, because we're going to talk about pay-per-click advertising, which is what we use. So, when we first started, everyone that came to our website was organic. We didn't pay for any clicks. So, everyone that came to our blog eventually made their way to our shopping cart, and they bought something or not. So, Google has a program called AdWords, where you can create ads which appear in the Google search results. There's two main types: text ads, which show up at the top and bottom, and Google shopping ads, which appear when you click on the shopping tab. And just go to the next slide real quick. I have a photo. So if you go to Google and search for Annie Sloan shopping, see these ones that show up with a little ad here? These are text ads. This is something that I created. So the regular results will be down here. These ones with a little ad on here are someone's paying for AdWords. And then the other one is, so that those are the Google search ads, and these are Google shopping ads. So if you click on the shopping tab, it would take you to a whole page of this stuff. And now they're starting to show these shopping ads right on the main tab here. So this is our ad, that's our ad, and that's our ad. And you can see a couple other people selling there. Go back to the previous page. So, in AdWords is a whole nother topic which we'll do someday, and this is just a page of information. So you bid on keywords that people are searching for and set a budget, so you only spend as much as you want to. you only pay when someone clicks on your ad, which will take them to your shopping cart. What they do after that is up to you, not Google. So Google doesn't pay you whether they buy, they'll only pay if they click, that's their job. And hopefully they'll buy something from you. The best part about paid online advertising is that you can track exactly what happens with your ads. How many people click on each ad, what you're paying, how much sales are generated from those clicks, and even what your return is for each dollar spent on ads. The amount of data is overwhelming, but the key things to remember is that you are in control of it. I always aim to get $8 in sales for every dollar spent on Google advertising. If you're getting $2 in sales for every dollar spent, you're probably losing money. So you need to track that closely. When we first started AdWords, we were getting about 4 times, which is probably almost break even, because if I buy $100 of ads and I get $400 of sales, out of that $400 of sales, I'm making a $50 profit. So basically I paid $100 in ads for $50 profit, you're losing money. So I aim to get $8 in sales for every dollar spent on Google advertising, and I adjust our bids to try to hit that mark. Bing has something similar with their Bing search results. I've seen that we get about 10% of the sales volume that we get for Google AdWords. There's other online search advertising such as shopping.com, Yahoo Shopping, Etsy, and eBay. I have not found any of them to be worthwhile, but it'd be something that you could try. So AdWords is a program with Google that you'd have to sign up for. It helps if what you are selling is something that is different from what bigger stores are selling. So for example, if you're selling honey, then you're competing in AdWords against Walmart and other big stores, and you're probably going to lose because they're going to spend more money than you. If you're selling a niche product or a homemade product that can be found with a unique search phrase, your odds are much better. So for example, if you search for honey sticks, which is something that Walmart does not carry, you will see lots of smaller companies selling on Google AdWords. These are the kind of niches that you should be searching for. So obviously you wouldn't want to have keywords like clothing, because everyone's selling clothing. Like your maybe inspirational clothing, some words that are unique to you is something that maybe you could find a little niche that you could bid on, and you're not going against the large companies. For you guys, it's what bar stuff?
Yeah, barware items.
Yeah, I mean that might be something that be difficult to find at Walmart or something. So, and I don't know how many other companies are out there that sell something similar, but you need to find like a niche that you're selling and no one else does. We're lucky because anti-stone chalk paint is something that's not sold in Walmart or Home Depot, so only other small stores sell it. Now we also we have general finishes paint that is sold at Home Depot and everywhere. So I do advertise on AdWords, but at a very low level because it's not worth it, because I'm competing against all the Home Depots and the Lowe's and stuff like that. But anti-stone chalk paint does very well. There's only a few people that sell it online, and so we're not competing against too many other people. Google ranks you based on how relevant your ad is, because they really want people to find what they're looking for and how much you want to spend. So if I spent $10 a click to sell honey, I could probably outbid Walmart, but I also wouldn't be making any money. So you kind of control how much you want to spend on that. One way to help yourself is by signing up for customer reviews. This shows Google and customers that you are reliable and a good place to spend money. Google will then rank you higher and will help you spend less. Click to the next slide. So I guess it doesn't show up here. If you went to the shopping tab and you would see our products, you'd see we have like 5-star reviews and stuff like that. And other people who are selling anti-stone chalk paint don't have these customer reviews. And this is a program you sign up for with Google. So randomly, as people will buy something from you, they'll get a pop-up from Google saying, do you want to rate these people? And it sounds kind of annoying, but it's really nice. Like, we've gotten all positive reviews, and so Google sees that, and Google ranks us higher because we have these positive customer reviews. Do I have another slide? Oh, I briefly wanted to talk about Amazon. We don't sell on Amazon, so I really don't have much to say about that. Margins are probably going to be lower, but you'll also be reaching a lot of customers. one disadvantage of using Amazon is that they control your customer information. If you sell on your own website, you have that customer's contact information. If you sell on Amazon, Amazon keeps that data and just tells you where to ship to. I don't know if you guys have ever done Amazon. I would like to try, because even though the margins are going to be lower, it's such a huge market, and something that I'd like to get into. I don't know how much. Maybe we would just sell some other products on Amazon, but I would like to kind of figure it out.
I think the tough part with Amazon is if you put in, you know, the Annie something chalk paint, you know, everybody's price will come up,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, it's the same with Google, but basically, you know,
Yeah.
if somebody's on Prime, right? If Amazon is doing the fulfillment,
Yeah.
they're gonna go with them because it's on Prime. Like I don't have to pay for shipping.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more, and I think I know a friend, Dallas Frosting. She's a local that went to Shark Tank, and she started with Amazon, and she was like, I got a bunch of like negative reviews, and it was just down the tubes from that point on because I couldn't
Yeah.
recover that. And her prices, like even now, her prices are much more expensive on Amazon than they are on her own
Yeah.
website or Wegmans for that matter.
Well, we actually can't sell the Annie Sloan chalk paint on Amazon because Annie Sloan doesn't want us to, which is good, because it's the same reason she doesn't want it sold at Home Depot or Lowe's. She wants it sold in small individual stores, which is good for us. But I did try last year. I did something on Amazon, and I had a really low bid, and one person bought from us, and Amazon like sends you an email saying ship this product to this person, and you don't have any other contact information. And it was difficult. Like, it wasn't integrated with our shopping cart. Maybe there's ways to integrate it, I don't know, but I didn't like the whole experience, and I kind of shut it down after that. But it's something I'd like to get back into, just to figure out if there's any opportunity there. But at the moment, it's not for us. So at this moment, so you have your website, you have a WordPress plugin, and you're selling on that. You have nothing. What's that?
Yeah, online.
Etsy.
Oh, and Etsy. So how does that work, selling on Etsy?
Everything's in it for you. The shopping cart, the fees, everything. They take care of everything.
So do they take a percentage of the sales? How does that work?
They take a percentage of the sales.
Okay.
Like
shipping's
3.5%.
nice.
The shipping's nice because you can do everything for shipping through them. You pay them and then just print the label right from the website.
So I'm sure, without knowing the details, because I've never done that, I'm guessing it's probably very easy, but it's probably also less lucrative, probably because they're taking a cut of everything. I'm guessing.
They take a cut, because I have a different shop on Etsy that I sold through. It's like 20 cents for 4 months for a
For 6
listing.
months for
Or
a
for some,
listing,
yeah, for something like that. And then it's like, but it's not like 40%. It's like 10. I don't even really
It's
remember
like
what.
3 on Amazon. It's
Yeah.
very little.
Well, they got you for shipping now too.
Which is
But you don't have
essentially
to
the
use
it.
credit card processing fee.
Yeah.
Same as credit card
But
processing fee.
it's a very overpopulated website now.
Yeah.
They used to start it out as just makers. Now there's a lot of retail crap in there too.
Yeah.
So it's getting around now. There's an Amazon handmade
Yeah.
out there now. We were approved for that. I haven't looked more into it. It's not. 8 out of 10 people don't know what the hell Amazon handmade is.
I've never heard of it.
And I do get emails for that. But I think knowing Amazon, if it's somewhere where they're gonna expand, they're gonna be marketing it.
They've had it for quite a few years though. Not much of benefit.
Right, but I mean, it's still, you're talking a behemoth of
Also,
Amazon.
yeah, also $30 a month to have it on there.
Yeah. I had explored some other shopping engines online, like shopping.com, NextTag, Shopzilla, and stuff like that, and they were horrible. Like they forced you to bid a certain amount it was a pay-per-click. So I thought, okay, I can adjust it, so I'm making money, but it just was horrible. I was actually spending more on advertising than I was even getting on gross sales. I shut it down after. And then I signed up for this one company, and they charged you on clicks, and all of a sudden, I can't remember the name of this company. It was basically a scam, because all of a sudden they were sending 1,000 clicks a month to us and charging us for 1,000 clicks a month, or not a month, like a day, 1,000 clicks a day, which turned into 0 sales. So I'm like, huh.
something.
You're saying that 1,000 people a day are clicking on my ads on your site, but none of them are purchasing anything. And they're like, oh, we got to give us some time. I'm like, no, shut this. I shut it down after 2 days. I'm like, you guys are obviously scamming me. And so, yeah, you gotta be careful and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's our little talk.
So obviously this is new. The Rochester Small Business Guild. Kind of the concept came about from some conversations that we had at previous second Saturdays, and then Steve and I sat down and we were talking about some of the challenges that we have as entrepreneurs figuring things out, from taxes to what website to choose. It's a million different things, right? And it didn't really seem to us that there was a community that could get together and have kind of an open conversation about these things, and learn from each other, because we're all good at one point or another here and there. So it's kind of how this started. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I'd like to get your information if you don't mind. I do have, or we do have a portion on the RSBG website that's a directory. So essentially, the database is already built. We just have to add in everybody's information. So if somebody's looking for a maker, they'll click on that, and your information will come up there. If they're looking for paint or craft type stuff, they can click there, and the purple painted lady will come up, etc. So it's kind of split between different segments. So I'd like to get you in on that, and then we'll have this up on YouTube. So just kind of take a look out on Facebook for where everything's going to be, as we're still building all of this out.
I know I would love to talk some month about accounting or finances, which I need help on. I do all of our accounting and finances, and I'm terrible at it. I wish I had someone I could talk to and get advice on best practices.
I have an account. I mean, obviously you have an accountant, yes?
We do, but what happens is I shove everything into QuickBooks, and then he does our taxes. But I also have all these questions on how should I categorize this? What's the best way to do this? And of course, they're going to charge you for,
I'll ask my accountant.